When you think about IKEA, your mind probably jumps to furniture, maybe even those famous meatballs. But what if I told you that IKEA is also one of the most sophisticated discovery engines on the entire planet? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and deconstruct how their global SEO machine really works. This is about so much more than just flat pack furniture.
So here's the secret right up front. IKEA's online dominance isn't from one clever little trick. No, it's a system. The whole idea is that their massive brand authority, their super tight technical control, and their smart, scalable page templates, they all work together. They create this compounding advantage that is just incredibly difficult for anyone to catch up with.
And that leads us to the big question, doesn't it? What is the actual formula here? How does IKEA take millions of random searches, for things like small bedroom ideas, and turn them into billions of dollars in revenue? Well, let's break it down piece by piece.
All right, first up, let's really dig into why IKEA's success isn't just a random list of SEO tactics. It's a powerful, compounding engine where every single part works together to build more and more momentum.
Okay, next, let's get to the most critical part of this whole engine, what we're calling the money pages. These are the pages IKEA has specifically engineered to turn a casual searcher into an actual buyer.
So what are money pages exactly? Well, to put it simply, they're the pages that connect directly to what a customer wants to do right now. Whether that's just getting inspired, comparing a few products, or, actually making a purchase. They are the absolute heart of turning search traffic into sales.
And this just brilliantly lays out the customer journey that IKEA has mapped. It all starts with inspiration, right? And their room hubs. Then it moves to evaluation on their category pages. And it all finishes with that purchase decision on their product pages. Each step is a totally distinct page type, and it's designed for very specific minds.
What's so cool about this is how technically precise the whole mapping is. Just look at the URLs. If you see /rooms, that's for pure inspiration. You see /cat, that's for browsing categories with an intent to buy. And /p, that's for a specific product. This structure is absolutely not an accident. It is the architectural blueprint for their entire sales funnel. Now, if we look at their traffic, you can see that a massive 66% of it comes from branded searches. That's people literally typing IKEA into Google. And that is a huge strength, obviously. But the real story and the biggest opportunity for growth is hiding in that other 34%.
So here's the crucial point. The real key to scaling beyond their already massive brand is to capture users who don't even know they want IKEA yet. They're just out there searching for solutions, things like best sofa for a small living room. Winning these non-branded searches, that's where the next wave of growth really comes from.
Okay, so they've got the customer journey completely mapped out. But how on earth do they manage all this across dozens of countries, languages, and currencies? This brings us to the massive challenge of scaling both globally and locally at the same time. This right here is such a fantastic technical decision. So many global companies make the mistake of using subdomains like us.ikea.com, which actually splits their authority. IKEA, on the other hand, uses folders like us/en/. It seems like a tiny difference, but it has a massive impact. It allows them to consolidate all of their brand authority onto one single, super powerful domain.
Okay, let's talk about something called faceted navigation. These are just the filters you use on a category page. Color, size, price. They're great for us as users, but for search engines, they can create a total mess. Just imagine every possible combination of color, size, and price creating its own unique URL. That's millions of nearly identical pages, what we call index bloat. IKEA's genius is that they show these options to you, the user, while hiding all those messy combinations from Google. It keeps their site super clean and focused.
Now, all of this technical control and this really smart architecture helps build their single biggest competitive advantage, an authority moat. Think of it like an invisible force field of trust and credibility that protects their rankings from every competitor out there.
But check this out. Here's a little puzzle. If you look at their data over the last 6 months, you'll see they've actually lost rankings for nearly 7 million keywords. Now, on the surface, that looks like a huge problem, right?
But get this, at the very same time, their monthly traffic went up by over 6 million visitors. So what in the world is going on here? How can they possibly rank for fewer keywords but get significantly more traffic?
And this just perfectly illustrates the strategy. This isn't a loss, it's a consolidation.
IKEA is strategically pruning away all those low-value keywords and focusing all its authority on winning the top 3 rankings for the high-value commercial terms that actually drive sales. It is a classic case of quality over quantity.
And the foundation of this authority it's just staggering. A domain rating of 91, which is absolutely world-class. 30 million backlinks from other websites, and those links are coming from 155,000 different domains. This is their traditional moat, a massive wall of trust that's been built over decades. It's incredibly difficult for anyone else to even come close to replicating it.
But that moat is expanding, and what's really fascinating here is that this shows us the future of authority. IKEA is already a primary source for AI search tools, with literally tens of thousands of mentions. So when an AI answers a question about, say, affordable storage solutions, it's increasingly citing IKEA. This is their new emerging moat for the future.
So, we've deconstructed the engine. The big question now is, how can you apply these lessons? In this final section, we're going to distill IKEA's really complex strategy into a clear, actionable playbook that you can actually use.
First things first, you have to prioritize where you spend your time. Focus on the money pages. That means your top categories, like beds and sofas, the room hubs that feed into them, your best-selling product pages, and of course, the pages that capture local and deal-seeking customers. This is where you will get the absolute highest return on your effort.
Next, you've got to systemize your internal linking to create one of these compounding loops. So you link from your inspirational room hubs down to your best categories. Then, from your categories, you link to your best-selling products. From the products, you link to related items to help people complete the room. This guides both users and search engines seamlessly toward a purchase.
And here's a really concrete, high-impact upgrade you could probably make right now. On your most valuable category pages, add blocks that help users make decisions. Things like best for small spaces or our top picks under $100. Add super clear shipping info and answer common questions right there on the page. These small additions build a ton of trust, and they absolutely boost conversions. And finally, here's a quick technical checklist for you. First, master your indexation control. That just means telling Google exactly which pages to pay attention to and which ones to ignore. Use what are called canonical tags to tell Google the one true version of a page, preventing duplicate content issues. Block those crawl traps we talked about with the filters. And critically, make sure your best page designs are used consistently across all of your global markets.
So, we'll end with this question, because it really gets to the heart of this entire strategy. Are you just chasing a random list of disconnected SEO tactics? Or are you thoughtfully designing a compounding engine where every single piece works together to build unstoppable momentum? Because that, right there, is the real lesson from IKEA.